What's going on, my friends? Welcome in. Take a seat and get comfortable. Hope you're all having an absolutely marvelous day so far. It's great to see you all. So, on today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new song called Shadows by a band called Belvebuth. So, I am very much familiar with this band. They are one of my favourites. I'm not going to go into too much detail about them. If you want to hear more detail about the band and all that type of shit, you can check out the reaction video I done for their last track, Malefic Manipulation. Fairly sure I went in a little bit more detail there, but basically, been a fan of this band, a huge fan of this band since I heard their single Pray on Prayers. It just blew me away immediately. I strongly recommend you go and check that out after you've finished watching this video. They've been releasing music, as far as I can tell, from 2018. So they had Useless, then the next year they had Fully in Pain. After that, they had Infinite Nothingness, Pray on Prayers, Malefic Manipulation, and Shadows, and that brings us up to the present day. And it's been a steady evolution for this band from kind of just standard deathcore with some creepy whispered parts in it. I think the very first song, which I've actually instantly forgotten the name of because I'm a dumbass, I think that had some kind of like glitchy, horrible sounding wind chimes on the like outro of it, or it might have been the second single, so on and so forth. But they've progressed from standard, but very good, may I add, but standard deathcore into a more creepy, almost deathcore with some blackish elements to it. Very cool, very cool stuff. It's been cool watching this band evolve. So, without further ado, let's get this going. Okie dokie. This is also their debut music video as well, so it'll be interesting to see what this looks like. Okay. Belvebuth, Shadows. Let's go. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Like that. Ooh. I'm loving this so far. He's really embracing the kind of shrieky, screamy vocals in this track. It's very good. Ooh, stomp. Oh shit, here it comes. particular bit there with the layered vocals, with the screams and the lows. That's mwah. Oh, oh, right. Oh, Sweet Jesus on a cream cracker. Don't know what the fuck that means. Shadows, Belvebuth. Belvebuth. I gotta learn how to say their name right. Okay, so that was sickness, pure sickness. First things first. Music video, top notch. Really, really good music video. As always, a worry for me when you've got a band that are doing it's a music video, but it's kind of like there's some element of a performance, you know, like it's them actually playing, and then there's some kind of like a kind of creepy, in this case, demonic possession, sacrifice, you know, candles, wood, all that type of shit, you know. But sometimes I worry that, like, you know, maybe, like, you know, I don't know, the drummer is going to look really, really goofy, or the lead singer is going to look like a bit of a goof, like, you know, on camera and all that type of shit. You kind of worry and you're like, ah, shit. Not the case here. They all looked really, really good, really monstrous. That the lead singer's got this very strange, unsettling presence when he's performing. I don't know what he's like in real life. I'm presuming hey, look, I've never met a single bad person on this scene so far. I've been doing this for just over a year, and I've had countless interactions with countless different bands and fans and everybody, and I just fucking love this community. So I'm sure he's an absolute sweetheart like everybody else is. But I saw some footage of him of Belvebuth. There you go, tearing it up in America. I really, really wish I lived in America, because a lot of my favorite bands are from there. But the guy's got a really, really creepy, commanding presence when he's on stage, and he also carried that over to the music video as well. He's kind of like movements well contorted and stuff like that. It was very good, very, very good. Music video was top notch. It also goes all the way up to 4K as well, so I'll definitely be watching that in 4K after we finish this video. But that out of the way, let's get on to the music. So these guys are steadily getting more and more, turning more and more into a blackened deathcore band. They were a lot more chunky, almost hardcore riffy band to begin with. It was definitely still deathcore, but there was a couple of string bends here, there, and everywhere that sounded like something that might have been released on on Hardcore Worldwide. Shout out to Hardcore Worldwide, by the way. There's some good shit being released on there. Quite kind of similar to Slam Worldwide. It's not just Slam. On Hardcore Worldwide, there's bands that have got stuff on Slam, got stuff here, stuff everywhere. So it's, you know. So it's very, 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 very good. I recommend Hardcore Worldwide. I'm pretty sure there's even on one of their tracks, I can't remember which one it is, I should have written it down, but if I remember correctly, there's a part where it's actually like, there's almost like a hardcore kind of like shout little section towards the end of one of them, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So they always had the creepy vibe to it. They had the sound effects and the guitar work and all that type of shit. They always, and the whispers, they always had that right from the very beginning. But they're becoming less kind of riff heavy and more they're adding blackened deathcore elements, and the blast beats sound very blackened. The guitar sounds very some of the guitar work sound, the harmonies and the atmosphere and all that's starting to sound very black metal. There's a much bigger influence as well. I've noticed that the lead singer's doing this more and more, but especially on this track, he seems to be embracing the kind of shrieky scream high register vocals rather than the lows. The dude can still low. I mean that layered section, I think they repeated it 2 or 3 times between the highs and the lows. That was particularly good. I mean, this guy can really do lows, but the highs, which I'm pretty sure they were more represented than the lows, really work with the music, especially since the music is becoming faster and more kind of blast beat heavy, but like a kind of black and blast beat heavy, you know. So that's all very, very good. The production was great. The production was really great. Sometimes, and I've said this many times on many videos, but in case this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, the one problem with this type of music is that you just can't ever hear the fucking bass, because the guitars are tuned to drop G, R2D2, sharp, C3PO, or whatever the fuck, you know? So the bass, so if you're going for that kind of, if you were playing bass in a standard rock band, if the guitars are just tuned to drop D, maybe drop C, possibly, you know, you're going to hear the bass cutting through without any effects having to be put onto the bass. You'll just kind of hear it. Not the case with this music, because the guitars are, it's all like, you know, like 7, you know, you basically need a 7-string guitar to even start playing this type of music, basically, and you know, a lot of the time. So you just actually can't hear the bass, but you could hear the bass in this. They gave the bake. Sleep deprived. I've got a sick mama upstairs, and I've got a sick baby as well. So a little bit sweaty, a little bit under the weather. You'll have to bear with me. So they gave this bass a really nice kind of almost scratchy, very stringy quality to it. It cut through really nicely, which was very good. The vocals were at the right level, the guitars were at the right level. You could hear the stuff going on in the background. The drumming was the mix was really good. I loved that section when it was kind of just, again, whispers. Whispers seem to be a thing that these guys do. Everything kind of just cut out for a second. And then, if I remember correctly, it went into the second fucking gigantic breakdown of that track, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Actually, I'm going to get to it now. Deathcore bands, the more blackened they get, they seem to be favoring kind of mid-paced, chunky grooves in place of breakdowns. These guys are not doing that. It's very heavy. It's definitely more blackened, the blast beats and the fast sections and the atmosphere and all that. That's definitely becoming more and more of a feature of these guys. But that first breakdown was fucking gigantic, like huge, fucking some nasty vocals in there as well. The first breakdown was massive. I didn't expect a second one. That's why it scared the shit out of me. I'm pretty sure it was after that quieter, stripped back, whispered vocal part. I'm pretty sure that it went that and then second breakdown. And that's really cool, because there's, like I said, there's lots of bands that are incorporating more blackened elements in, but then that's kind of shunting out the breakdown, the kind of more kind of modern deathcore kind of, you know, breakdown style. These guys are not doing that, and it's really cool. I love me a good breakdown, especially like fucking massive planet-sized fucking huge, massive, big, huge, massive breakdowns. Great vocabulary I've got there. Loved it. Really fucking enjoyed it. Oh, one last thing as well. There was a tiny little bit. Now I could be imagining this, but there was a for about 10, maybe 15 seconds towards the very end of the song, there was some creepy sound effects being played. It sounded very much like the sound effects that were like the main sound effect that was dominant in that was very dominant in Pray on Prayers, I think. Well, it sounded very similar. I'm not going to say it's the same, but I liked that. It was kind of, that's why I went like that when I heard it. I was like, oh, hold on, I recognize that from Pray on Prayers. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, fucking awful, fucking awesome stuff, man. Yeah, keep an eye on Belvebuth. They're already very, very good. It'll be really interesting to see where they go from here. I can easily see these guys getting picked up by some kind of major label. I think Unique Leader. I think they would work great on Unique Leader Records, for example. But you know, these are one. Yeah, keep an eye on these guys. Keep an eye on these guys. Very, very, very talented. Not afraid to evolve. Not afraid to add new layers to their sound. But they already actually have a nice sound that they've got carved out for themselves. Yeah. Super, super impressive stuff. So, as per usual, guys, down below, you will see in the description Facebook, links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, fucking whatever else. Please remember, once the video's done, please remember to go down, click on all those links, and where there is an option to follow, leave a comment. If you can comment, leave a comment, let them know how much of a good job they're doing. Subscribe, turn on bell for notifications. Maybe buy a digital copy of the new song for like $1 on Bandcamp. It means a lot to these guys. Buy a t-shirt, so on and so forth. You guys know what to do. Support these guys, because we want to, well, I for one, and I'm pretty sure lots of other people want to hear a lot more from these dudes going forward. So, one more time, Belvebuth, Shadows, go check that shit out. Like, comment, all that type of shit. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.